What's up, guys and ladies? Excuse me. I received a request from a couple of you guys out there about how to play a couple of Jimi Hendrix songs. Apparently, a few of you liked my video of me playing those and kind of acting like a dork. So, I decided to go ahead and show you what I know about it. Not that I'm a guitar teacher or anything, but one song in particular that was brought up is the song Peace in Mississippi. And the good thing about this song is that it's mostly improvisation, so when you play it, you can play mostly what you want to. The bad thing about it is, about learning how to play it, is it's mostly improvisation, so until you learn how to improvise, you can't really, learn a whole lot about it yet. So learning how to improvise requires listening to a whole lot of different music, and a whole lot of different artists, and a whole lot of different guitar players, and a whole lot of Jimi Hendrix music, and it also requires playing with a whole lot of musicians. And in fact, that's mostly what Jimmy's music was based on, is jamming and being inspired by people that he played with, and just pulling whatever he could find out of inspiration in the moment. And you can hear that in his stuff, because he was willing to go further out on a limb than just about anybody. And you can hear sometimes in his live recordings, he would go out on a limb and maybe not make it back. But he was willing to break some eggs to make an omelet in a way that most musicians are not. And that's, mistakes and all, he was still a genius. So, but this song is basically 2 chords. Peace in Mississippi. It's just 2 chords, pretty much, and there's a couple of central riffs to it, and I guess you could call the main part of the song a verse-bridge structure. And I'm having to use a webcam, so I'll try to compensate for the blur as much as I can. But basically, it's in E chord, and the guitar, his guitar is probably, his tuning was all over the place, probably because of the tape machines that they used at the time, and also most of their tuning back then they did by ear, so they might play one place and be in standard, and the next time they get down the road they'd be half a step lower or a whole step or whatever. But right now I'm tuned a half a step down, which is generally where I stay. In my other video I was a whole step down. But anyway, let's get to it. The method part of the song. E chord, half a step down. And he starts, of course, with the pick scraping, and it's just running your fingers down the neck. And he kind of slows it down as he goes down. And that's, the rhythm is just hitting that chord on a simple beat, and then you throw in the riff. And the trick to this song is kind of switching back and forth between rhythm and the lead part at the same time. So he slides up to the next octave higher in the E position. I'll lean forward a little bit so you can see. And another thing that Hendrix was known for is playing a lot on the top strings at the top of the neck, which most players won't do. But anyway, it's starting from the 12th fret. You just slide up on that string, index finger on the next one, ring finger back down, skip a string, this note, back to this one, and then same thing, except this time you go okay. And I would do more repetition, but I don't really have enough time in order to fit all this in there because of the YouTube, I don't know, it's like 15 or 20 minute limit you can do. But the next part, he goes down back to the first E position on the G string, and it's you just bend it and then open, back down, open, and skip to the next string up, and then just a whole lot of bending it around, you know, just back to the, just a quick bend, and then you're playing the rhythm in between. So I'll try to go a little slower tempo and still play it. Let me lean back a little bit. So it's So let me show you that top part one more time. It's just one thing, I don't know, everybody's at a different stage of development, but one thing that's important when you're playing, switching from rhythm and lead sometimes is to let a string ring out, so you're playing something while your hand's moving to give you time to get there. And you can probably just figure that out by feel with experience, but you know, it might help to let you know that. So when you're switching back and forth, just the root note is that E, just let it ring out, and you slide this up, slide up here, 14th fret, A string, and just flatten it down on the next string, then back down, roll it over, wrist under, same note. Let me show you. Sliding all the way up. You hit that low E string while your hand's moving down. And slide back up. See how I'm hitting the string while my hand's moving. And right here, so that's that's basically it for that part. Now let me move on to the next one. This one's a little bit, it's a little easier because it's all in one place. This is what I guess you'd call the bridge part. I mean, yeah, okay. So it's going to start, let me play it full speed. So it's starting on the top E string. You're just going to go, and like I learned by ear, and I've been playing for 27 years, and so I'm not the best communicator with terminology, and if you gave me enough time, I could count, you know, I could sit here and count my way up and say, okay, E, F, G, A, B, C, and I could tell you all the notes, but it would take all day for me to do that, because I didn't learn it that way. I learned it by ear, and I know where they're at, but I'll just have to show you. So, anyway, open, then G position, I know that one. Open A string, walk your way up. So again, oh, I'm sorry. See, I have trouble going that slow and keeping track of what I'm doing. Okay, use your ring finger. A string open, walk your way up. Then open D string, walk back down. Then you skip to the G string. No, I'm sorry. B, G, D, the D string. Just hammer on and pull off then, so it's let me switch this down a little bit. Probably look like a ghost now. Shit, sorry. Then it goes to this position. You don't even have to play this whole chord, and I don't part of the time. And sometimes I do if I just happen to grab it, or if it feel like it'd sound better that particular time. But it's, what would that be? This is a D, so this I guess would be, I don't know, whatever the next chord up is. So but you don't have to do that. You can just play these two notes and it's cool. It's just as good for this particular song anyway. Slide it up. Let me do it again. See, that time I just felt like it'd be more convenient suddenly to grab it here. Same thing. That's all part of improvising and finding shortcuts. But so I can go right from there to that same chord. And that's one of the keys to getting to where you can do that. And I know a lot of you guys out there know that stuff already, but some of you might not. But so, and then from that point, that's all there is as far as structure to the song. It's just a couple of chords, and he's just doing his psychedelic space out jam on top of it. You know, playing totally by the seat of his pants, playing totally by inspiration. And if you heard him play it on 5 different takes, you'd hear 5 different things. So you can play whatever you want. Once you learn enough licks, you just stockpile your licks, and you know, get to where you can connect all the dots. So with music, I guess you could put it into I don't know, 3 or 4 elements that go into it, and one would be method, and that's the first thing that you learn. It's the first thing that you're concerned about. And that's the first place we all start over when we start to learn anything new. Is where do I put my fingers and what notes and stuff, and then you go. That's method and technique, and then you throw in emotion, playing, learning how to play what you feel, and then there's philosophy too, because there's a work ethic to it. And if you have it, what I've found, because I've gone on different sides of the argument over the years, but what I've found is that if you play from all of those balanced, then you're able to create some kind of like a controlled chaos that sounds like music. And if you're too strong in one area and ignoring another, then it is out of balance, and you'll run into a plateau where you'll have to, whether you agree at first or not, you'll have to go to another part of it and develop more. So it doesn't matter where you start. Like I didn't learn by books, but if that's how you start out learning, that's cool, you know. And just make sure you're constantly exploring other ways too. What else? There was something else I was going to mention, but on that same subject, you know, had I learned by reading music, it would be easier for me to communicate to you, you know, as a teacher, how to play it. But I just don't roll that way. But I hope this has helped you some. And I'm basically just self-taught. But if you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and I'll see if I can answer them for you in another video. And in fact, that'd probably make it easier for me to help you. So anyway, let me demonstrate one more time. I'll go through it slow, and then I'll just do some jamming. I'll try to back up a little. So, yeah, I just played a whole bunch of stuff that I don't know exactly what it was, but I might play it different next time. But it's all, you know, the main one key as far as technique is the blues pentatonic scale, and you probably know that already, but I happen to agree with Zakk Wylde that it's probably the most musical, as far as modern music is concerned. It's the most soulful and the best way to go. So when you're improvising, the more you can do this, the better off you are. I think I'm out of time, so see ya.